That's your shit. There's the river dance. It's your shit. Well, it's just still popular. I remember I used to be hooked. What was like the late 90s, early 2000s, where like Riverdance, Lord of the Dance just swept the United States. It was on primetime TV, and I used to be looking like, this is not tap dancing, but they is killing this shit. They turning up out there. Long story short, moving on. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live, and I cover boxing. So today we're going to talk about the Irish Andy Lee. How do we know he's Irish? Because his alias is Irish. 33-2 with 23 KOs. Most notable fights against Brian Vera, one in which he lost, and then Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in the fight that I covered it live that same night. Julio Cesar Chavez was announced that, well, it was announced that Chavez was going to be fighting Sergio Martinez the same night, which was big news, and I remember covering that. Andy Lee had a good chance of winning that fight, except Andy Lee got caught in the corner, and Andy Lee did all this. You know how when fighters try to act like they're not hurt, and they're like, oh yeah, I felt it, but come on, give me some more. Then they get beat up. That's what happened to him. Andy Lee is a good jabber. Andy Lee is a good fighter. His last fight was a fight at 154 pounds. A division he had no business going down to because, for one, he never fought below 160 in his career. Majority of his fights has been at like 161, 162, 163, making him a small super middleweight. So fighting at 154 against a guy by the name of John Jackson, he was getting, and I'm not exaggerating, he was getting his ass beat. To the point where he was at least sitting on the second rope, you know, like close to the corner, like trying to dodge and dip punches, getting hit with all these hooks. And then all of a sudden he come up with a crazy right hook. Bang. John Jackson goes to sleep straight on his face, Pacquiao style. So you would think, okay, well, that was not, even though you got the knockout, that was not a good performance for you at 154 pounds going up against faster fighters. So this fight's going to be taking place on December the 13th, 2014 in Dublin. It was killing me. It's like his ankles are rubber. It's just like, anyway. It's going to be taking place in Dublin. I made a video yesterday that I had to take down because I realized, well, wait a minute, is it really going to be an undercard of Bradley versus Chavez? Then I thought about it, and I am getting news that, yes, it will be a tape delay. They will play it that same night. But like I said, I don't know. It's not confirmed. But it is confirmed that Matvey Korobov, 24-0 with 14 KOs, is going to be taking on Andy Lee for Peter Quillin's vacated WBO 160-pound middleweight title. Now, Peter Quillin, Haymon, and Rock Nation, all this. It's funny how this Matvey Korobov guy, it seems like he's just some super psycho murderer boxer because everybody ducking him, but it's not the case. It's just that when it comes to that vacant WBO belt, Demetrius Andre wanted it, but then he found out he couldn't pull a WBC and hold the 154-pound and 160-pound junior middleweight, 160-pound WBO titles. He wanted to hold them in both divisions. Couldn't do it. WBO rules. So, for example, Chris Algieri is going to be taking on Pacquiao. Chris Algieri is the 140-pound WBO champion. Manny Pacquiao is the 147-pound WBO champion. But Chris Algieri, if he beats Pacquiao, he's got to drop his WBO 140-pound title. You get me? So, long story short, Demetrius Andre saw that, okay, well, there's bigger fights at 154, basically. You know, and I'm just paraphrasing, than to go up and fight at 160 and you know, drop that belt. But long story short, you had also Billy Joe Saunders, 20-0 with 11 KOs, is going to be taking on Chris Eubank Jr. The winner of that will most likely be the #1 contender for the winner of Andy Lee versus Matvey Korobov. Now, Matvey Korobov is a top-ranked fighter. He's going to be fighting Andy Lee, and if I'm correct, is being promoted by Frank Warren, so that will put it on Boxnation. I don't know, as I said previously in a video, if HBO is going to show a tape delay. I did read somewhere earlier this morning that there's a good chance that it will be showing a tape delay as the undercard of Bradley versus Chavez, but, excuse me. Matvey Korobov, here's the issue with him. He's 31 years old, very highly accredited amateur. You know, he's an Olympian, but on this level, now he's 31 years old, 24-0 with 14 knockouts. You think, oh, how haven't I heard this guy before? Because he's been fighting on top-ranked undercards, and top-ranked undercards, he fighting on the cards that air on the top-ranked stream. You know, so they're untelevised fights. But see, here it is. He's good. He's technically sound as far as he knows how to move. He's got the head movement, and he's not a one-punch pony, meaning he can throw to the body, and he's very, very accurate. But aggression and him finishing fighters off. And mentally, we don't know how mentally tough he is, and that's the issue right there. Andy Lee has a great chance of winning. Andy Lee has an excellent chance of winning if Andy Lee decides to box and not slug this guy, because Matvey Korobov, despite if you know him or if you don't, he's a good, solid, fundamental boxer, so he can beat you on the cards. But most notable fights, realistically, people that you may know of: Derek Findlay, he fought Curtis Stevens, Grady Brewer. But outside of that, so he's supposed to be the second best fighter out of Russia outside of Sergey Kovalev. And it is yet to be seen, but he's the #1 contender for the WBO title shot. And Peter Quillin was going to make $1.4 million to fight him. And Matvey Korobov was going to make over $500,000 for a title shot. You're thinking like, damn, that's a lot of money for this guy, you know, just getting his first title shot. Well, thank you, Rock Nation, and no thank you, Al Haymon. But then again, thank you so much, Al Haymon, because really, we wouldn't have none of these fights if it wasn't for Al Haymon. Oh, thank you, Al Haymon. Thank you so much. I'm T Street Controversy with Real Combat Media. All the links to the articles are right below. Just click on Real Combat Media. It's right below. All my videos are right below there as well. My Facebook is going through a bit of a transition right now, so people are wondering where it's at. It's not going. All right? T Street Controversy, please subscribe. Oh, please subscribe. Like, why do you... I know people may not like me or whatever the case may be, but just hit the subscribe button. Like, trust me, there's a reason why you're here. I've been doing it for quite some time now, and I'm transitioning into being a full-fledged reporter. I have some interviews, getting some more Hopkins and Kovalev at the beginning of November. You know, then 2015, I'm getting my promoter's license. So follow the progression. T Street Controversy, T Street Controversy Live.